Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a video, and this is like the equivalent of a breaking news type video, I guess. Something I'm really excited about. Just yesterday, Filmic Pro came out with an update that a lot of people have been asking for, and so I asked you guys in a poll earlier today if you guys wanted to see a quick video and learn more about it, and so here we are. So just yesterday, Filmic Pro, the third-party video camera app, released an update to where all of the iPhone 12 series, so 12 mini, 12, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max, all have the ability to shoot in 10-bit SDR with the cinematographer's kit enabled. Now let's roll back for a minute here. When the iPhone 12s were released, of course, Apple's partnership with Dolby, and in the stock camera app, they allowed you to shoot in Dolby Vision. Shortly after the initial release, we saw Filmic Pro update to also have Dolby Vision, but you couldn't shoot in log because Dolby Vision is meant to be the final output of an image. But since it was 10-bit and the hardware was capable of doing it, people were hoping that there would be some sort of 10-bit variation where the cinematographer's kit, which is a extra in-app purchase you can do for Filmic, which gives you their log formats. Everyone was kind of hoping that they could marry the two features, and yesterday they did just that. So now if you have one of the iPhone 12s, you can update your Filmic Pro app. Now to find the new 10-bit option, simply go into the resolution settings, and this is kind of weird, but if you're on 8-bit, if you go to the right, you'll see Dolby Vision. And I thought that the 10-bit would kind of be in between the two options, but it's actually all the way to the left. Kind of weird. But anyway, once you swipe over to the 10-bit, there is a little info button. If you tap on that, it simply just explains what its purpose is and also lets you know that you should probably use this with their new DeLog V3. I gotta say, this is a huge improvement over the previous DeLog V2. Now you can also go to their website and download their cinematography kit, which includes some delogging LUTs, including the new V3. And again, here, huge difference over V2. I mean, look at this clip right here. This is how it looks out of the camera. And then if you apply the DeLog V2, you can see there's not too much of a difference. Skin tones still look very kind of yellowy and pretty terrible. And you have to do a lot of extra work to kind of make this a properly corrected image. But if you apply the new DeLog V3, man, this looks great. This is finally a fantastic option if you're the type of person who wants to shoot in a log format for safety or maybe for the ability to have a stylistic choice later. But if you want a quick and easy, hey, I just want this to look kind of realistic, how it normally would out of a decent camera, you can slap on this DeLog V3 and it's going to look great. As long as you exposed and got decent proper white balance while you were shooting the actual clip, all the colors should look very natural. So great job to the Filmic Pro team on this app update as well as the delogging LUTs. Now, one last thing I kind of want to bring up just because I found it really interesting because I actually was going to film this A-roll as well with my 12 Pro Max and the new Filmic Pro and be like, whoa, this video was shot in DeLog V3 and 10-bit and all that. And it was going fine, except for something that I can't believe I really, I guess I've noticed before, but I never really stopped to think too much about, which is I set everything up, I locked my exposure, but every time I would leave the frame and come back, I noticed that it would brighten things up. I'm like, I noticed this, when I was testing out the Beastcam app and pretty much every third-party camera app on the iPhone, I've noticed this, is even if you lock in the shutter speed and the ISO, you still will get exposure fluctuations. And so I found this Reddit post from earlier this year, and this is actually a response that a user submitted to Filmic Pro, and this was their direct response. Obviously, you can pause and read the whole thing, but essentially it's talking about how Apple does not give the core functionality, straight to the image sensor control to any third-party app. And so even if you're using a third-party app that has all of these manual settings, there's something called tone mapping, which is something that Apple's video cameras do in their stock camera apps as well as any other third-party app. And it essentially adjusts the exposures of key parts of the image to create better dynamic range. So it will either brighten the highlights or lower the shadows or just up the shadows a little bit. So each individual part of the image. And in the stock camera app, if you're just the average shooter, that's what gives us such great results most of the time. But if you are trying to shoot something more professional, it is extremely frustrating when you lock in your exposure just to have it still change and slide. And so unfortunately, Filmic has no resolution for this currently. They said they're working on a couple things, but can't really guarantee if or when it will work. It's little steps forward like this that make me super excited for the future of mobile filmmaking. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out all the relevant links in the description below to Filmic Pro downloads, the DeLog LUTs, and anything else we've talked about in this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.